Hello my dear bright learners, welcome back to our physics class. Today we have an exciting topic to discuss with, that is reflection of sound. Along with that, we shall also discuss something regarding the echoes and reverberation. So by the end of this class, we shall understand why echo is produced in mountains and why sound lingers for a while in a big halls. So let us start with reflection of sound. So here we go. Children, what is meant by reflection of sound? Whenever sound strikes a hard surface, it bounces back. That means it reflects back. So the reflection of sound, the bouncing back of the sound itself is nothing but the reflection of sound. So what is reflection of sound? Whenever the sound hits a hard surface or a hard obstacle, it comes back. It bounces back. That bouncing back of a sound after hitting a hard obstacle is called as reflection of sound. It is as simple as whenever we throw a cricket ball towards a wall, after hitting the ball bounces back. Similarly, when a sound is produced after hitting the hard obstacle, it bounces back. It's as similar to that. So the bouncing back of the sound wave after striking a hard surface itself is called as reflection or reflection of sound wave. Children, let us also try to understand what is an echo. So, the sound after reflection, this reflection of sound itself is called as an echo. The reflection of sound itself is called as an echo. Okay. So, the repetition of sound caused by the reflection of sound. The repetition of sound, that means once we produce a sound, again the same sound is being heard, because it is reflected from some obstacles. It might be some large wall, a big hall, a deep valley or a deep well. Whatever be the case, whenever we produce a sound, the sound hits that obstacle and again comes back and again reflects back. This reflection of sound or this repetition of sound after its production is called itself as an echo. The repetitive sound itself is called as an echo. Okay. So how these echoes are produced means, so consider an obstacle. Let us suppose that some source produces a sound. This sound, after traveling through the given medium, again reflects back after striking the obstacle. So, if you suppose that some ear. So, this person could able to hear that sound. Produced sound after striking the reflecting surface comes back to the ear. So, whenever the same sound is produced directly, it is audible. Again, the same sound after reflecting is audible for the second time. Here, this reflecting surface may be a big wall, a mountain or a hill or a deep valley or a deep well, anything it can be. Okay, children. So, let us try to understand the minimum distance to produce an echo. Children, we know that speed equals to distance by time. Speed equals to distance by time. So let us try to calculate the minimum distance to hear an echo. And one more thing you need to remember, children. So in order to differentiate between two different sounds. So a human ear, in order to differentiate between two different sounds, a minimum of 1/10th of second is required. So that means in order to differentiate between two different sound notes, how much time gap do we require? At least 1/10th of a second. So, how much time means 1/10th of a second is required to distinct between two sound notes. Okay. So, what we are trying to find out is what the minimum distance. Okay, let me keep the heading the same as minimum distance to hear an echo. So, the minimum distance to hear an echo. What is the minimum distance? This is the observer, the source of sound, observer. Observer means the person who hears the sound, and this is the obstacle. So what is the minimum distance between the observer and the obstacle to get back the echo? So as we know that speed equals to distance by time. What is that, children? Speed equals to distance by time. Okay, so suppose that the speed of sound in air be 340 meter per second. This is your supposition. In general, the speed of sound in air, speed of sound in air is generally 340 meter per second. And just now we found that the time taken to differentiate between two sound notes by a human ear is 1/10th of a second. 1/10th of a second. So, speed is known, time is also known. Let us try to substitute the same. Therefore, speed, that is 340, speed what we replace is, the speed we replace it with 340 meter per second equals to distance. Let us try to find out. And the time is 1/10th. What is the time, children? 1/10th. Okay. So, if you simplify this, we have distance is found to be the value of distance. In order to find out the distance, take this denominator to the other side. So, the value of distance is equals to 340 into 1/10. So, simplifying this, 0 and 0 gets cancelled, and hence the value is 34 meters. So, in order to produce an echo, in order to hear an echo, what is the minimum distance? It should be, children, the sound must at least travel a distance of 34 meters. So, in this example, this is the sound. Here it is your sound. So, this sound moves and comes back. This sound has to travel towards the obstacle, and again the same sound has to reach back to the ear. That means one sound you already heard, and second sound, that whatever the second sound you heard was an echo. Okay. So the distance between the produced sound and after reflection again to reach back the ear. The total distance such traveled by the sound is how much, children? 34 meters. The total distance traveled by the sound to hear an echo is 34 meters. That means this length as well as this length. Okay, if you suppose this distance as D, then this distance will also be D. Moving forward D, moving backward D. So, what is the total distance covered by the sound, children? 2D. The total distance covered by the sound is 2D. But what is the total the distance between the observer and the obstacle? It is only D. The total distance travelled by the sound is 2D, where 2D is equals to, the value of 2D must be equals to 34 meters. Then what is D, children? D is nothing but the distance between the observer, listener. The distance between the listener and the obstacle is the value of D. So, this is found to be 34 by 2, it is equals to 70. That means, in order to hear an echo, the observer, the listener must be at least a distance 17 meters away from the obstacle. How much, children? 17 meters away from the obstacle. Hope you understood this. Okay. So, now let us try to understand the concept of reverberation, and before that, some relation between the speed, distance and time. So, the same concept we will use, children. What is that? Speed equals to distance by time. Speed equals to distance by time. So, this general speed, let us indicate the speed with the letter V. Let us indicate the speed with the letter V. Okay. So, this V is equals to distance. What is the distance, children? The distance travelled by the sound, let us take it as 2D upon T. So, the relation between the speed of the sound, distance travelled by the sound, and time taken to reach the listener to produce an echo is t. So the relation between v, 2d and t is v is equals to 2d by t. From this we can also conclude, bringing this t here and v the other side, t can be written as 2d by v. If you would like to calculate the value of t, it should be 2d by v. If you would like to calculate the value of v, it should be 2d by t. Then what is the value of d? Children, bringing this here, we have Vt is equals to 2d, or d must be equals to, bring the two other side, this will be equals to v into t by 2. So what does d indicate? D indicates the distance between the listener and the obstacle. So the distance between the listener and the obstacle can be calculated using the formula v into t by 2. Okay, children? Well, so this is all about your minimum distance to hear an echo. Let us try to understand the concept of reverberation. Children, what is meant by reverberation? Whenever you produce a sound in a very big hall, then we see that, we observe that the sound is repeated continuously, and in order to understand the difference between two different notes, how much time gap we require? 1/10th of a second. Okay. And so when this echoes are produced in a very big hall, closed hall, okay, very big or closed hall, then some resounds are being occurred. Resound means continuous echoes are being observed. So, and whenever these continuous echoes are having a small time limit, not even 1/10th of a second. So, very immediately the sounds are produced. So, in that case, we feel as if the sound is being prolonged. The sound is being prolonged because we are not able to distinguish between two different sound notes, as it is taking lesser than the 1/10th of the second. The continuous echoes are formed lesser than the 1/10th of a second. So this continuous repetition of sound itself is called as your reverberation. Why reverberation generally occurs means the echo. Okay, whenever the sound is produced in an open room, this sound is reflected by all the four walls of the room, the ceiling of the room, as well as the floor of the room. So everything continuously, they are reflecting back that sound. So one sound note is overlapping over the other, and we as a human being is not able to distinguish between the different sound notes. So this continuous sound notes itself is called as a reverberation. In simple format, the continuous echoes are simply called as your reverberation. Got it, children?